Alright, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch one of the greatest films ever made. No fooling. This one's called Over the Edge, Matt Dillon's film debut. Let's watch. Here's our heroes. Carl, Richie, Claude, Johnny, Matt Dillon's film debut in the middle there. Vincent Spano on the right. He and his gorilla friend there are taking pot shots at cars, especially police cars.
Anytime you two get through making out in there, I'd like to talk to you.
Cop got the wrong two guys.
Go ahead. You two got any special reason to be hiding there?
Give me a name. You guys got a lot of laws, right? Well, let me tell you something. I only got one law. The kid who tells on another kid is a dead kid.
This is New Granada Middle School, where they all go.
Mr. White, you're late. Why are you late, Richard?
I had to take a piss.
What?
I had to urinate.
They show the kids a documentary about vandalism. They're not impressed.
Oh no, so destructive. Oh look. That's great.
Drug use as well for these kids.
Steep, don't you think? It's good stuff. Alright, I'll take it. I know I can score with some good acid too. Oh thanks, no more acid for me.
At a party, he finds Vincent Spano, the one who actually shot that car. After the party, Vincent Spano and that friend of his beat the crap out of Carl, basically telling him, "You don't say nothing to nobody."
See if there's any money.
Claude gets arrested for having a little pot in his sock. And Richie causes a scene.
Get off that car!
Carl and Richie meet up with Corey. That's the girl that he likes. And they're playing around with a gun. Some bigwigs came into town to look at some real estate, and Carl decided to sabotage their car with some firecrackers.
You got a lot more than juvenile trouble. Seems to me like you all are in such a hopped-up hurry to get out of the city that you turn your kids into exactly what you're trying to get away from. Let's go.
Hey, Tip.
This is Tip, the local drug dealer.
I've never seen anything so real.
You told Doberman you sold that hash, didn't you?
I had to. I got busted last night.
Okay, Richard, but now look.
After they assaulted Tip and threw him in a little river there, Tip's mom comes in and they're looking for the kids who did it.
Water, stash the car, then we sell the gun, then we can move out, Jeff.
We're running away?
No. Bad.
But they barely get out of town when Sergeant Doberman tracks them down. And a chase ensues. Chase on foot.
I order you to stop!
Fortunately, Richie still has his gun.
Hold it right there! Son of a bitch, pig!
Carl runs off. Meets Corey later. Richie's dead.
When I heard about it, I thought about you right away.
Carl stumbles upon Vincent Spano the next day and takes a little revenge on him.
You should be out looking for him.
Carl sneaks back home to get some money or something.
Thank God we kept Carl's name out of the paper, I'll tell you.
I'm losing my mind over this.
So the town decides to hold a big town meeting at the school. The police are there, parents are there, teachers are there, talk about the problem with the kids. Carl shows his face.
Hey man, are you alright? Yeah. Parents get mad at you? The usual. Same old thing, you know. Hey, you think Doberman will get fired?
The kids head to the school.
Man, one stick of dynamite would do it.
I don't know how many of us are willing to admit just how deep in trouble some of the kids in this city are.
Yep, the kids have broken into the school, stole a tuba, and now they're going to lock all the parents in.
I am sorry. Sorry that he was carrying a handgun. Oh, wait. Those get on drugs to learning.
Wayne, I don't know where he is tonight. I'm upset.
Your son and some of his friends are part of this.
God damn it, Jerry. My son and his friends are part of this goddamn town.
Eventually they find out what's happening in the parking lot. The kids are rioting. And the cops are locked into the parents. Gets very chaotic after a while.
Got blown up. Have you seen Carl? I think he's with you. God, I wish I could find him. I just want to go home.
Eventually more police show up and everybody's let loose. And Carl gets rounded up by Doberman. The Doberman doesn't last long after Vincent Spano shoots out his car. Carl was in the back seat, managed to reach over to the unconscious officer, got the key, and got out of the car. But eventually everyone's rounded up. And it's off to juvie. All but Claude, Johnny, and Corey, that is. Okay, let's talk about Over the Edge. I can't praise this film enough. I love this film. I saw it for the first time when I was probably, early 80s. It showed up on cable quite often, actually. And I watched it quite often. It's just a very gripping, intense film. It's kind of like youth gone wild. There's a bunch of kids, maybe 12 to 17 in that range in this community. And they've kind of been ignored by the parents in the town, and they rebel. The movie takes place in the very late 70s, and there's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of drinking, and just a lot of wild, rambunctious youths who have not a lot to do. They don't have a lot of places to go, so they just kind of listen to their rock and roll. They smoke pot, they drink, and they get in trouble, and that's what happens in this movie quite often. The cops in the town are kind of like the parents. All the parents and adults are kind of just played like big boobs and derelicts. They're just not the greatest characters, people in these films. And again, like I said, they kind of ignored the kids, so the kids just kind of do what they want to do, and they get in trouble. It all culminates at the end after one of the kids, Matt Dillon, in his film debut, gets shot. It culminates with a bunch of the parents and a bunch of the parents and the teachers getting together at the school, and the kids end up locking them. They get padlocks and lock all the adults in the school, and then they just terrorize the parking lot. They blow up the cars and just cause a lot of havoc. They get a hold of guns. It's just craziness. Chaos ensues. The film was actually loosely based, apparently, on something that happened in Foster City, California, back in the very early 70s. I wish I could know the details on that, but it's kind of hard to find information about that. I wish I knew. I actually visited the location where this film, the school took place. It was, I think it was called John Evans Middle School in Greeley, Colorado. I visited, in fact, if you do a YouTube search for Over the Edge filming locations, you'll find two short videos I posted back in 2012, I think, at the time. The school has since been razed. It's no longer there. I think the last school year was the 2014-2015 school year. After that, it was torn down. So I'm glad I got to see it while it was still up. It's very recognizable. And I shit you not, as we pulled up in the car, as I was first getting a glimpse of the school, I was like, wow, there it is. We had Sirius Radio on, and I swear to God, Surrender by Cheap Trick came on the radio as we were pulling up to the school, which is a song that's used in the film, and it's also the very first time we hear Surrender in the movie is the very first time we see the school as well. So it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those surreal moments for me. I love this film, and to have that happen, it was weird. It was wild, but it was really cool. So Anyway, like I said, I can't recommend this film enough. This is the only way this is available right now is this DVD. There's no Blu-ray yet. I hope there will be at some point, but this DVD does come with some audio commentary by the director and one of the screenwriters as well, and that's pretty cool. It got a lot of insight there. I really like director commentary when it's for a film that I really, really, really love, and this is definitely one of them. You get a lot of cool insight. Great soundtrack, Van Halen, Cheap Trick, Little Feat, just a really cool soundtrack there as well. It's a great film. Very well remembered. Michael Kramer didn't do a whole lot of acting after this. Either did Pamela Ludwig. Obviously, Vincent Spano did, and Matt Dillon became a big star. Like I said, this was his film debut. Apparently, when he auditioned for this film, he wasn't even really trying to get the part. He just wanted to get out of school for a day. It worked. He got the part, and he was great in it. So, anyway, check this movie out. It's called Over the Edge. Like I said, I can't recommend it enough. I'm sure tons of people have seen this movie as many times as I do. Outside of the Star Wars trilogy, this is probably the movie I've seen the most in my life. Probably 200 to 300 times. Just love it. Haven't seen it in a while, so it was great to watch it again, and I'll probably watch it again soon. So check it out. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think about it. It's called Over the Edge. Great film. Watch it. Bye.